Hello, friends. Good evening. I am Dr. Mayur Kulkarni. I am your radiology faculty at Marrow. And I'm very, very, very happy here today because I'm going to host Dr. Amal Prakash. And Dr. Amal has made us proud today. And he has secured a rank 6 in the recently conducted INI-CET May 2022 exam. Well, friends, champions do not become champions when they win the event, but a champion is actually created in the hours, weeks, months, and years prior to that particular result day. So the victorious performance that the performance itself or in the exam is actually a mere demonstration of that championship character. So I'm very happy to welcome our champion today, and our champion is Dr. Amal Prakash. Dr. Amal, how are you feeling today? Has the result actually synced in? What is your first reaction when you got the result today?
Sir, the result is just sinking down. I was not expecting this result, so it's a great feeling, sir. Hello.
Some internet connectivity. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Yes, Amal. So you are saying, how have you taken the result?
Like, I'm happy. I was not expecting this result, but then
What was
like
your
I was
parents?
asking everything.
What was your parents' reaction, Dr. Amal?
Like it was like a shock for everyone. Like I asked them to verify it multiple times, and I had a relative of mine also, so I asked him also to check it and recheck it that it's correct only. And now I think it's so I'm happy for that. So,
That's great. That's actually too humble of you, Dr. Amal, because I just did a little bit of check, and I realized that you are not a surprise actually as far as this result is concerned. You have been a consistent performer over the past 1 year too. If I'm not wrong, you also got a great rank in the last year's INI set exam in July 21. Is that right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was
So
I
what
had
was
a
your
rank
rank at that
184.
time, and did you take up a seat?
184, sir. 184.
Oh, that's great. Fantastic. So you took up a seat actually, is it?
Yes, sir. I actually took up a seat.
Okay. Dr. Amal, tell me a little bit about Marrow. Was Marrow your primary source of preparation this year? When did you start preparing for this exam, and how the last 6 months to 1 year? How did you start with this journey basically?
So the preparation with Marrow started around in my the end of final year and beginning of the internship.
Okay.
I started with the videos and all at that time.
Okay.
And after that, our internship got over by April of last year. And the exam, the July INICET was on July because it was delayed, postponed by 1 month.
Right.
And since I got a decent rank in that exam, I stopped my preparation actually after the exam, and I couldn't write the NEET exam and all.
You got a great result just 3 months after your internship, right? So, which means that you are already prepared well for that exam. Did you go through Marrow videos as well at that time?
Yeah, I had watched not full, but most of the videos I had seen before the exam. So
Okay.
that was there, sir.
Okay. Did you make your own notes when you were watching these videos, or did you use Marrow notes? How did you go about it?
No, I used my own notes, sir. I didn't use any other notes. I just made my own handwritten notes. That was the most comfortable thing for me, to make my own notes.
Great. So that's very really outstanding, Dr. Amal, because you were actually doing your internship. You were in your final year when you started with Marrow, watching Marrow videos through your final year into your internships. You still found the time to create your own notes, and seemingly it has worked very well for you, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Even in the last year's exam. Who was your favorite faculty as far as Marrow videos are concerned, Dr. Amal?
Favorite faculty, all are my favorites, sir. Everyone is good, but if I have to choose one, then it would be Rakesh, sir.
Okay. Any specific reason for that? Did you like his style of teaching, his concepts? What specifically?
Yeah. It's his style of teaching. It's just a style of
Mhm.
teaching, nothing else.
Mhm.
Like
Great.
he's
So,
someone who would go deep into the subjects, and he would not limit himself to whether this was asked in the exam or will this be asked in the next time. He doesn't consider anything like that. He just teaches what is to be taught, and he would give us a confidence that okay, we should prepare in a level. So that gives us a confidence, and that's also motivation for us to learn more about the subject, and that we can apply to all other subjects also. So that thing is there. We are not just preparing for an exam with set parameters or set topics, set questions. He's not
right,
like that. So that thing was very
right.
inspiring, sir.
Did that help you to integrate medicine with other subjects as well going ahead?
Definitely, sir. Definitely, he would show us how we can integrate between the subjects, and once we learn that approach, then we can apply it to all other subjects as well, sir.
Right, right. Fantastic, fantastic. That's so true. Now, let us go to question bank, Dr. Amal. Did you use this question bank and how vigorously did you use it? How regularly you used to solve these question bank modules?
Okay, I used to solve modules, but like I started from a section from each subject, and I used to solve them. I used to solve around 100 to 150 questions daily.
Okay,
I
okay,
uh, I didn't go to any particular sequence or any subject. Like I used to do around 100 to 150 questions daily,
okay,
and I used to do custom modules more than the question bank directly itself. I used to rely more on custom modules, sir.
okay, okay. Any specific strategies that you use? Did you go into a topic first, or did you go and try and finish all the modules in a particular subject? Would you use
Uh,
bookmark options? How many bookmarks did you have?
like, sir, my was a very random and haphazard kind of preparation. It was not very systematic or regular preparation. It was very haphazard. So I had around 2000 bookmarks only, because I
Okay,
usually do not rely much on this bookmarks thing, because I forget to review them. So
okay,
that thing
okay,
is there. So, but what I used to do is I would give that red star kind of question mark, which is
okay.
like the very important. So the ones which I feel I should look them before the exam, I would give that red star. But
Okay,
then the other bookmarks, I couldn't review them much, to be honest, sir.
okay, okay, okay. Fair enough. Did you go into grand tests? How many grand? When did you actually start solving grand tests? While you were preparing throughout the last 1 year, Dr. Aman?
Grant test, I think it's around like internship, mid internship. Around that time, I started giving grant tests, and from that, I used to give regularly give the grant test. All the grant tests I have given, sir.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking you this, Dr. Amal, is that students are very frequently a little bit afraid of going into grand tests when they've just started with their preparation. They think they've not finished most of the subjects. So, do you think it really helped you going into grand tests so early in your preparation? And how did it help
Yes,
you?
sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. I think we should start it way before, because only if you can start the grant test, then you would get to know what kind of questions the examiner wants from you and what kind of topics are being stressed. So being thorough with the grant test is extremely important, sir. Only then you can focus your studies, and you can channel your studies accordingly, and you can prioritize your topics, what topics to read, what topics you can skip, etc. You can only get it from grant test, sir.
Right, right, right. So friends, for those of you who are actually beginning your preparation right now, what Dr. Amal actually wants to tell you is that there's no great or perfect time to start giving grant tests. You should start giving grant tests as early as you can in your preparation. Agreed, though, that you have not covered a few subjects until now, but still those grant tests will give you a very beautiful insight, into those subjects, into the types and patterns of questions which are going to be asked in your exam. How would you analyze a test, Dr. Amal, after you have given a test? You got your score, right? How much time did you spend on the result of that particular test? And how would you analyze that particular test?
um, in the initial preparation and all, I used to take some time, maybe 1 day to 2 days. I would take and detail. I would see the questions in detail and review all the answers, explanations, etc. But if you start doing regular GTs, then you will understand that there will be repeat topics, repeat questions. Sometimes the same questions will be repeated, and
Right.
you should be very familiar to that kind of level that you can just seeing the question, you will understand that this was a previous question or a previous year topic or a previous. So at that time, you can skip the explanation and you can be fast while doing the reviewing of the GT.
Right, right, right. Dr. Amal, now this particular exam, I've heard and I've also seen the questions which were asked this time. Uh, did you feel this was actually a very typical type of a question exam which was conducted as far as the types of questions which were asked this time in INI-CET?
I
Were the
don't think
questions
so, sir.
actually
Like,
like
yeah.
okay, okay? So the questions weren't really typical, is it?
Yes, sir. I think it was little atypical this time,
Mm-hmm.
because if you follow the trends of the INICET or the previous aims, they have some core topics and core areas. But I think that
Right.
they didn't ask from that core areas this time, because it was
Okay.
little atypical this time. The questions as well as the topics and the type of questions, all
Okay.
everything were little atypical this time, sir.
Okay, okay. But given that the exam questions were actually atypical, it seems that you have succeeded in solving most of them right, right? So that's the reason why you have got such a great rank. So can you share with us why you think you could actually deal with these new or atypical questions? You said the topics were new, the questions were atypical. Still, did you find it quite easy to go through those questions? How were you able to solve these then?
Sir, it was not easy. All the questions were very confusing, and it's all new questions. And like every time they will bring some new topics and new questions to check something else. So for that, I think
Mhm.
you need to have a solid base right from the beginning itself. Only then I think you can attempt. Just by learning some notes or some content, I don't think you can attempt such questions, because it's a new question, and nobody knows what they are asking, what is being tested. So to answer such kind of questions, we need some other knowledge or some other info with our hand to
Concepts.
approach such questions, sir.
Right, right. So, do you think that the concepts that you learned in Marrow videos, say, and as well as when you went through question banks, they really helped us? Why I'm asking you this is because there are two lines of thought when we prepare for these competitive exams. One is that what Marrow actually believes in is that is about dealing with concepts more than the facts. There's another line of thought that says that you just stick to the standard pattern of questions and topics, and then you would be able to crack the exam. So do you really think this putting in a little bit of extra effort about learning these concepts, going that extra mile, that really helped you in this particular exam?
The only thing that helped me was that, sir. I think many of my, what to say, those who have prepared very well than me, those who have may not have performed very well. It's not some extra thing, because it's just because the on the day of the exam, it's just some random question. You get some random statements, and you have to choose one option from them.
Right,
And for that,
right.
you need to have a thought process. You have to think like the examiner and what the examiner wants, and to get that kind of thought process, I think you need to have that detailed concepts. Just by knowing this is one answer for this question is this, or investigation of choice for this is this, that kind of learning won't help much, because the questions were very unpredictable, and they're also a little hard. So I think we need to learn to apply the concepts to get a good score in any entrance exam, I feel, sir.
Fair enough, fair enough. So this is actually proof of concept, friends. So believe me, putting in all that a little bit of extra effort in terms of your time, in terms of your attention, in going one step ahead and learning those concepts, core concepts, is really very very important, because exams may come and go, patterns of those exams may change, the topics, types of questions may change, but the underlying concepts actually remain the same, right? And once you know the
Yes.
concepts, right, doctor, as Dr. Amal has said, and also done in this exam, right, you will be able to crack that particular question. Great, great. That's very good to know, Dr. Amal. Tell me, Amal, honestly, I want a very honest answer from you. Do you think you were perfectly prepared for this INI-CET exam? Do you think that it was an ideal preparation? where on the day of the exam, did you think that now, yes, I have done everything, I am perfectly prepared for this exam?
No, sir. I don't think anyone can say, unless maybe you have been rank one in all grand tests. I was not rank one, or not even in top 10 ranks in the grand test or something. Unless you're that confident, then maybe you can say that you are the top. But otherwise, I don't think anyone can say that my preparation is complete. I don't have anything else to do, and that is always there, sir. That fear is always there, and that will always haunt us. And it was there for me also. In the exam also, I remember that I made the mistakes which I wanted to see just before the exam, but I couldn't see them, and from that itself I made the mistake. So that happens, sir.
Right, right. So why I asked you this question is because we are now in the countdown for the NEET PG exam, right? It is going to be conducted in just 1 week now. So there are students out there who are probably feeling the same like what you did on the day of the exam. So I just want these students to know from your example that no revision is actually perfect revision. Even toppers like Dr. Amal, who has consistently done so well in these exams, he was a little bit in self doubt on the day of the exam, but he, just went through it and he gave his best shot on the day of the exam, and the result is for everyone to see in front of you. So that's great. Thank you for the honest answer, Dr. Amal. That is going to help students who are preparing for this exam. Tell me, what did you do anything different in the last 1 week prior to this particular exam? Did you use any revision strategy in the last 1 week just before the exam? What did you do? How did you prepare?
I didn't do anything extra or something. Like, I just used to do the regular topics and regular notes only. Maybe I used to follow our faculty members' posts and Telegram channels and all. So if they stress something important, I would just make sure that I don't miss them. So I just verified that the topics, when an important topic list or something like that comes up, I just cross check that I know something about those topics, and the previous year questions also. That is also important. And because if you know the previous year questions very well, then I think you can save, at least you can save some time during the real exam, and the time is really short in the exam,
Right.
especially in the INI exam. So you can save a lot of time if you are confident, and you should be very thorough with the previous year question. So that is also important, sir.
Okay. So you focused a little bit on previous year questions and important topics that were highlighted in the last 1 week, right? That is something that
Yes,
you
sir.
focused on. Okay. Okay. How was your mental state in the last 1 week prior to the exam? Did you meditate? Could you hold it together? Were you anxious? How should students cope up with the stress which is coming up now?
That is a very difficult question to answer, sir, because it happens that, like, my sleep was also disturbed and I couldn't also sleep properly. That happens because it's a very high pressure, high stakes exam. A
Right.
single mistake can cost you everything, and even if you scored a very good rank, still you may not get your seat, or so that is always there. So we need to find our own coping up mechanisms to handle the stress. Definitely talking to the family, and I was staying in my home itself, so that really helped. And
Okay.
that is a important. And talking to your family and friends is a very good thing, sir. That's also important.
Okay, okay, Dr. Amal. Dr. Amal, why and how would you recommend preparing with Marrow for your juniors who are just preparing with who are just starting with their preparation now? How would you recommend, Marrow with them? What has been your experience and, gist that you've got out of Marrow?
Always go in the direction that is led by the faculty members and our teachers. They will show you how to approach any question or any kind of topic, and with that you also have to do your own preparation, because everyone is seeing the same video and same topics. Every PG aspirant is preparing the same way. So if you want to say, if you want to have a better concept of the direction that they show, you have to go in that direction, and you have to do your own work, and you have to be thorough with the concepts, and you have to do, it's a competitive exam after all. So it's just that you have to know what everybody knows, and to get a better rank, you need to know something that the majority doesn't know also. So with that mind, you have to cover up the basics first, then you can slowly build up on your less important means a little difficult areas, and by then you can you can score well in this kind of competitive exams, sir.
Right, right. So that is what Marrow would try and get you to, beginning with concepts and the correct approach to a particular question. That's what Dr. Amal is telling us. Dr. Amal, what is your favorite feature on the Marrow app? Something that you are very fond of? Was it bookmarks? Was it custom modules?
The most important hats off feature is the app itself, sir. There's no a better app than the Marrow in the industry currently. All the features of, even if they are putting a regular daily question, or their way of showing how many got it correct, it's not just a random thing, or it's very predictive. We can predict if it's a hard question, only a few people would have marked it correct, and if it's a very easy question, a large majority of the students would have. So we can analyze where we stand. Is it our fault? Is it a difficult question? Is it an easy question? Is it a recent question? So all that info we can get by solving the questions, and that would really help in gauging ourselves, where we stand and what is the level of preparation. Everything we can assess from the app itself, and we won't get distracted, or we won't get irritated with any of the feature in the app. So the greatest credit goes to the app itself, sir.
That's good to know. So grand test analytics is what you are basically highlighting. Is it? This is the feature that you actually used a lot, and
that is also very good. And all the features, even if it is a question bank question, when you see the answer, you can see that how many of the questions have been rightly, how much percentage is the students, how many of the students marked it right, how many of them made a mistake, what was the second most common answer given by the questions, why this is a controversial question, or why this is a difficult question. All that info we'll get from solving the question. It's not just the question. There are so many things around the question that we'll get by solving the questions from Marrow, sir.
Right, right. So that's good actually coming from you, Dr. Amal, because the Marrow team actually puts in a lot of effort, not only in creating the content and putting up the videos and questions, but also in the analytics part. So that when you have solved a particular question, you know what the solutions are, how the students have picked up various options and why. And that, I think, is equally important rather than just appearing for the exam. So the analytics part is also something that is really good. Tell me, Dr. Amal, were you on social media? I mean, how has been your experience? How have you used social media and platforms for your preparation and your benefit? Were you on the Marrow Links group? Did you used to connect with Marrow faculties? Would you get your queries resolved from these faculties?
Actually, in my previous attempt, that is the last year, till then I had no clue about any of this social media group or the Telegram group or whatsoever. I was not aware at all. And this time, after January only, I started to come to know about there are these groups, there are these Instagram updates, Facebook updates, and that too I was not very much into it because it was very distracting. So I used to selectively see if there is something useful, then I would take it, but I was not very active in those groups, sir.
Okay. Did you get any updates about important topics or last minute revisions from faculties on these groups? Did you come across?
Yeah, that is there, but if I see something like that, I would then and there look at what. If I keep it for some other time, then I usually don't get time to look at that. So if there is something like that, I would instantly look at and just give it a go through. And if there is something important, then I will note it in my notes or something. And after that, I usually do not heavily rely upon those kind of things, sir.
Okay, fair enough, Dr. Amal. It has been a great interaction with you. And before we sign off, I would want you to guide your juniors a little bit as a parting advice or preparation tip. What advice would you give to your juniors who are just starting that journey with Marrow for the upcoming exams going ahead?
The thing is, it's just an exam after all. It's a competitive exam. It's a hard exam, but the thing is that you have to stay consistent, and you have to stay confident as well, and believe that you can achieve what you think you can achieve. If you think that it's not possible to you, then you're already out of the race. Then there's no point in wishing something. If you want to achieve something, then you have to first make sure that you set a plan and you plan accordingly, that you will do your best, and then just don't bother about the results. The results will come to you. Just give your 100% and be consistent. The answer will come one day to you, sir.
Great, great. That's fantastic, Dr. Amal. It has been a it has been a great pleasure to interact with you, and it makes me feel really very proud, in the sense that you have cracked these exams consistently. You have got such a great rank, and even in spite of that, I find you so humble, and you've been speaking with so much of humility and sharing all your experiences and the practices that you followed throughout your preparation. You're really setting a great example to look up to for our students. So on behalf of the Marrow team, I congratulate you once again. Welcome to the other
Thank
side,
you.
and
Thank
all
you,
the
sir.
best in your journey going ahead. Well,
Thank you,
friends,
sir.
Dr. Amal has shared his strategy with us. For those of you who are preparing for the upcoming NEET PG exam, I want you to keep up the tempo and keep studying and keep preparing, irrespective of these results that have come out. Keep giving your best shot. For those of you who are just beginning with their preparation, you've just listened to how Dr. Amal has told us how you should focus more on the concepts and then build on those concepts. Follow a disciplined approach, as what Dr. Amal has followed throughout his preparation duration. The price of discipline, remember, is always less than the pain of regret that you might feel later on. Thank you, Dr. Amal. It has been a great interaction with you. Heartiest congratulations from us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.